Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Naomi and I'm a South African living in the United Kingdom. I have made a whole series on my channel here called Different, and it's all about the differences between South Africa and the UK. I have made a playlist on my channel, so if you're interested, please go and have a watch. If you are not new here, you've seen some of my other videos, you're coming back, or you're a subscriber, hello, welcome back. Hello. Yes, I am looking a little bit different from other parts of the video. I pre-recorded a lot of things before we moved, but then due to a whole different situation, which I will do an upcoming video about, yes, I think there's been about 2 months in between those that pre-recorded and now, but I will get into that. So let's get on with the video. Today's video is all about renewing your visa. So this would be your second visa. So if you are like me and you've come to the UK on either a spousal visa or some other visa where you're required to renew it, so it's about 2 years and 7 months. Visa that we will be applying for this time around is called further leave to remain. So what happened is our first visa that we applied for was a spousal visa, and our 3 daughters are dependents, but that visa was called leave to enter. Now that we've been here 2 years and 7 months, we are now applying for a visa called further leave to remain. And myself, Casey, Hannah and Leah are all applying for this visa, and we are going to this video is all about that process, and I'm just going to give you some tips, some pointers, and I hope that they will be helpful to you. Let's get on with today's video. The visa process is a very long process, and it starts way before you actually even need to apply for the visa. That is how we went about applying for our further leave to remain visa. Before I get into the process, our BRPs, so now if you are here in the UK on a visa, you know that you have a BRP, which stands for Biometric Resident Permit. And normally, like if you're wanting to rent a property or you're applying for a job or things like that, you will need your BRP. Your BRP is very important. It will state if you're permitted to work or not, and of course it has an expiry date on the back of it, which is very important. And our expiry date was the 30th of July 2023. We had about 6 months to do everything in preparation for applying for the visa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list the following as to do. Instead of step 1 or step 2, it's just going to go to do 1, to do 2. To do number 1, contact your immigration consultant. Now, if you haven't used an immigration consultant for your first visa and you are doing your second visa now and you didn't use an immigration consultant and you feel like you might want to, there is a big range of immigration consultants to choose from. I have made a video here on my channel called How to Find an Immigration Consultant for Your Needs. I will link it down below. Please go and have a watch. It gives you all our story of how we found Robin from RCV International and how she helped us with our first visa. Anyway, to get back to the second visa, so I just sent an email to Robin from RCV International, and I just said to her, our visas need to be renewed in July. Would she be able to help me, even though I'm in England and she was in South Africa, and she was more than happy to help me. We obviously emailed back and forth. She had a WhatsApp call with me. We chatted about the various things that needed to get done. What I can say is that I absolutely highly recommend Robin and her team at RCV International. They are very good. You will get 5-star service. There is just one important thing about Robin. If she's at capacity with clients, she won't take any new ones, but as things move along, she will be able to, because I was just told once before that Robin only takes on a set amount of clients, and yeah, so that she can give her full attention to the clients she has. But yes, she is wonderful. I highly recommend RCV and Robin. I will link them down below. Go and check them out if you need an immigration consultant. The email I sent to Robin was in January 2023, and And that email, she followed up with a WhatsApp conversation with me on, WhatsApp call. And from there, she gave me a checklist and a timeline. And we stuck to that timeline and we stuck to that checklist, because you need to be prepared, and there are obviously other steps in this process that you need to do. To-do number 2, send through all documentation that your immigration consultant will need. These are things like passports, ID books, unabridged birth certificates, proof of address since moving to the United Kingdom. So what we did is we used our 2 lease agreements, one from our first rental and one from this rental, as proof of where we lived. You can also use things like bank statements and utility bills, things like that, but the lease agreements are pretty much the best ones because they've been signed by yourself, your partner, and your landlords. You will also need your current BRPs, and they will need a copy of the front and the back. You will also need your NI number. Your NI number is very important. To-do number 3, check expiry dates on all passports. Majority of children passports, I think, are probably valid for 5 years. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. I think children are 5 years because of the changes that children go through. So I think majority of passports is only 5 years for children. So Casey, Hannah, and Leah, all their passports needed to be updated before July 2023. So we then started the task of renewing Casey and Hannah's passports. They were now eligible for adult passports and their ID books. And Leah was eligible just for a new passport. Casey and Hannah's, we had to go through the South African High Commission because of their age and because they needed an ID book and because it was their first adult passport. Leah's, we went through VFS Global because hers was just a simple update, and she's not going to get into all of that on this video. I will link both of those videos down below. I did a video on our experience with the South African High Commission with renewing passports and getting ID books. So please go and have a look at that if you are in that process and you need to deal with the High Commission. Then I did also do a passport renewal video through VFS Global. I will link them both down below. They both have become, if I can say, the most watched videos on my channel. I hope that those 2 videos will be very helpful if you need to renew your South African passport and ID through the High Commission, or if you can just renew your passport through VFS Global. And just remember that expiry dates on a passport, so for example, with Casey and Hannah's and Leah's, all were expiring in July this year, 2023. So you need to remember, and this is something that the High Commission and VFS Global will tell you, you need at least 6 months. So we actually started Casey and Hannah's process in November last year. So November 2022, we started the process of getting their passports and their IDs because we were not certain of the timeline. Leah's we did in February 2023, and she had her passport by March 2023. So hers was a lot quicker. Casey and Hannah's took 3 months, but we knew it would take a while, and that's why we did it so far in advance, because you need your updated passport to apply for your visa. To-do number 4, your English test. Now, one of the requirements, of course, is an English test that you have to do to see that you can speak, read, and write in English. So we went through Pearsons to do our English test. I can highly recommend Pearsons. They were a great service provider, and Pearsons is not the only one here in the UK. You can use IELTS, Pearsons, or Trinity College. Trinity College is I think it's only in London, whereas IELTS and Pearsons are, I think they're a little bit more country-wide, so you don't have to go into London if you don't want to go into London, or if you're a bit far from London. I think IELTS and Pearsons have a bit more, but like I said, I think Trinity College is only in London. I booked our English test with Pearsons about a month in advance so that Casey and Hannah had time to prepare. And you need to remember that anybody over 18 will need to write the English test. So like Casey and Hannah had turned 18 in December last year, so they had to write an English test for this visa. The test date was the 10th of March 2023. It was a Friday. We went to Croydon and the test was about 30 minutes. Casey and Hannah got their results before we even arrived back in our hometown. So from the time we left Croydon till the time we got back to our hometown, they already had their results. Looking for a nice place to write your English test, I can highly recommend Pearsons. I will definitely link their website in the description box below. When your results come through from whichever service provider you choose to do your English test, you need to just forward it on to your immigration consultant if you're using an immigration consultant. To-do number 5, bank statements and payslips. This one is fairly self-explanatory. In your first visa, if you went the visa route, your first visa, you needed payslips and bank statements. It's exactly the same this time around. You need 6 months bank statements and 6 months payslips, but some people might need more. I'm not sure. We knew someone who had to have 12 months bank statements and payslips. So just make sure that you check that with your immigration consultant. But we only needed 6 months bank statements and 6 months payslips. The other thing that you need to do is you could keep them in a folder on your computer and just put them in there every month and then forward it to your immigration consultant at the end of the 6 months. Or if you prefer to just send it to them month by month. It's up to you, and you need to go with what your immigration consultant was comfortable with. Robin was more than happy for us to just send it one email at one time. To-do number 6, follow up with your immigration consultant. All the months have gone by, you've accumulated all the documentation that you need, you forwarded to your immigration consultant, you've written your English test, your passports are all up to date, everything is done. You've got everything together, and I would say probably about a month before your application date, just check up with your immigration consultant. Just make sure what you have, what you don't have, what you need, what you don't need, and just make sure that you get it all to them, because they need to be 100% prepared and they need all the information so that they can do their job properly. We were applying in July. I followed up with Robin in June to make sure that all documentation, everything was there that she needed, and she said to me, everything is ready, we're just waiting for application day. To-do number 7, this is a big one, and that's application day. Now, you won't believe me, but this day rolls around very quickly, especially if you've been waiting as long as we have. Like I said, this whole process started in January this year. And before I knew it, it was the 2nd of July, and we were applying for our visas, and the time literally flew by. Everything was done. We logged on, we did what we needed to do, and we kept in constant touch with Robin the whole day, because also your immigration consultant will need to book a biometrics date for you. So if you're in contact with them and they do a certain part and then you have to do the rest. And then of course this day costs you a lot of money. Because you have to pay the NHS surcharge, and then you have to pay for your visa. So it is a day where there is a lot of money, and like I say, keep in touch with your immigration consultant during the day and just make sure that everything's done and you've done everything that you need to do and your application is successfully in the system. You should also get confirmation emails. For now, that's all you can do. You've submitted, you've got your confirmation emails, and now you wait. To-do number 8, biometrics. Your immigration consultant, or even yourself if you are doing the visa process yourself, will have booked you a biometrics date. Now here in the UK, there are quite a few centres where you can go to, as long as you convey this to your immigration consultant that you need one closer to your home. You don't have to go to London or here or there. If you can possibly get one closer to your home, it's easier for you to get to, speak to your immigration consultant and say to them, would it be possible to get one here or there? Also, if you're doing it yourself, just remember, try and check and see if you can find one closest to your home. We actually did it right here in the town where we live. So I'm going to insert a video of our experience with our biometrics. Hello. Okay, so today was the day we went and did biometrics. It was a very pleasant experience. I have mentioned I was never going to reveal the town in which we live in Kent, But yeah, we do live in Kent, and the town where we live, we were able to go and do our biometrics at the biometrics place. Everything was really great. We got there quite a way ahead of time. With traffic, we didn't want to be late, so we made sure we were on time. We sat in the parking lot for a little while, and at the center, you had to go in and enter your registration number, once you were going in, so that you were not given a fine. So you had to use, it's called a parking permit. So we had to put in our registration number once we were inside. Our appointment was for 9:30. We were actually asked to come in a bit before time, and quite literally the appointment was 20 minutes long. If you counted from everything from the time they said hello right up until the time we left, it was probably 20 minutes. It was easy. The young gentleman who was helping us, he was friendly, kind, courteous. Please sit here, please this, please that. Very nice young man. And the man who greeted us at the door, older gentleman, very nice gentleman. It was a completely pleasant experience. We didn't feel uncomfortable or rushed, or I can tell you that biometrics is not always fun. It's a little bit overwhelming. Your tummy sort of does a bit of a knot just before you go in, because you're realizing, oh, this again, because yeah, the first time I ever did it was in Durban in South Africa. So to do it again, it was kind of like, oh, my tummy was all up in a knot. But I can promise you it was a very pleasant experience. And I straight away emailed my immigration lady and told her it's gone very well. And it was the four of us. It was myself, Casey, Hannah, and Leah. We had to ask for permission for Leah to be a little bit late for school. Casey and Hannah went to work as soon as they were done. So it was a pleasant experience. It was good. We were happy. We're happy it's over, it's done with. And now we wait. Just one other thing I just want to mention. I'm not sure about your center where you're going to go and do your fingerprints, your biometrics. But when we were leaving, they asked us please just to scan a QR code and just give them some feedback on the appointment, which we were more than happy to do. Like I say, the service was great. They were friendly, kind, efficient, very efficient. I think that also they need to get on to the next appointment, so they're not going to dilly-dally too much. So overall, great experience, very happy, and now we start the wait. To do number 9, wait. When I first got the email, I was very excited, and obviously I wanted to capture my raw emotion. I really did. And I went quietly off to the park by myself. Because shame, what had happened that morning isn't it crazy how these emails come through when you're so busy? And what had happened is Martin had to go for a test on his eyes. And what happens is it makes your eyes very blurry. So I had to drive home from where we took him to have his eyes tested. And quite literally, we were sitting in the waiting room after they had done this test on his eyes, and these emails came through one after the other. And what happened is my email came through first, and then the other 3 came. So it was it goes Naomi, Leah, Casey, Hannah. I don't know why they do that way, but that's how it comes through. And it all came through, and I was like, and I was just like scrolling through, checking my visas had been approved. But yeah, they were all approved. I will insert some of the video footage here and there of myself, so you can actually see the happiness on my face. I'm very happy. You can see the relief on my face, because anybody who has applied for any of these visas, once that email comes and the BRPs come and you feel so much better, there is such a relief with that. So I will insert pieces of that video so you can just see, the happiness and the relief on my face. It's been a very busy morning. I'll get into all of it, but I had to capture how I'm feeling right now. our emails came from the Home Office, and our application has been successful, so we are allowed to remain in the UK for another 2.5 years. I am extremely relieved. Okay, we are so happy, and what a relief and what a time it's been. A bit of a challenge, but I'm so grateful and so happy. We've got our visas, we're allowed to stay for another 2.5 years. It's good. Okay, bye. When we applied for the visas, we applied on the 3rd of July, but our biometrics was 2 weeks later. So you never count it as 7 days when you're counting these things. You count them as 5 days because that's a working day. So from date of application to the date of my email was 33 working days. From the date of our biometrics, which was the 17th of July 2023, till the date of the email was 23 working days. If you look at a calendar and you go, because like I said, the 17th of July, we got our, sorry, I haven't actually mentioned, we got our emails on the 17th of August, which was a Thursday. And so that is exactly a month. So 17th of July biometrics, 17th of August decision emails. So there were, if you look at it, it's 33 working days from date of application, 23 working days from date of biometrics. And if you're just looking at a normal calendar and you're not counting working days or whatever, it was a month. So it felt longer, really. Trust me, it felt so much longer, but it actually wasn't as long as it felt. In South Africa, we waited 40 working days. So yeah, a whole lot less. You can see in the video that I am very happy and very relieved. One thing I didn't mention, and I should have, is we've been praying since the day of application. We've been praying for our visas. We say, let your will be done, and the Lord has continued to grant us first visa, now second visa, so I'm pretty sure this is exactly where the Lord wants us to be. We also, I kept praying every single day, and there are days when you wake up and you so want that email to come through and it just doesn't. And you just think, oh, why not today? Martin is on a Facebook group for further leave to remain, and yeah, there were people who were quicker than us, and you have to just accept it, and you have to wait your turn. It's like if you were standing in a queue, you have to wait your turn. But yes, so we prayed about it. The Lord answered our prayers, and I promise you now, it is the biggest relief that you will feel the moment you get that email, and in the moment you're holding your BRP in your hand. It is such a relief, and it feels so good after that long wait and that long preparation, because you have prepared for so long. We started preparing in January of this year, so yeah, it's been a long wait for us. It's not really a to-do, but number 10 would be the day your VRPs arrive. I will insert a video here of the day our VRPs arrived. Today is the day that the VRPs arrived. The date today is the 21st of August, and they arrived about 11:30 or so. Very nice man from FedEx. He was very friendly. He asked for some identification, which I gave him. And what I decided to do is I have decided to open the envelopes on camera. Envelopes, because I'm obviously not going to show the front because that's where our addresses are. 4 envelopes, one for each of us. So mine, Casey's, Hannah's, and Leah's. And I'm just going to open mine on camera quickly. I just don't want to show the address. The letter opener will come in handy. Yeah, the VRP stuck to the letter. And I'm just taking it off. Okay, I'm not going to show you because there's like all my personal details, everything. It's just got, on the front it's just got my first name, my surname. That it was issued on the 17th of the 8th, which is the day that I got my email. It just says leave to remain, and I'm permitted to work. And of course it's got my picture there, which you don't see. And then on the back it just says my date of birth, where I was born, my nationality, which is South African, and my sex, which is female, and that's it. But yeah, it's here, and I'm very excited that they're finally here, and we can now move on with the next step. Just read the letter from the Home Office, and it quite clearly states that if your BRP date, it says valid until 31st of the 12th, 2024, you don't need to stress. There is an explanation in that letter. So when your BRP comes with the letter, make sure you sit and read the letter. There is an explanation for that, and you don't need to worry. If you're valid for longer than that, you mustn't stress. Just read the explanation on your letter. Other note, I have to say, I've just opened all the other envelopes. I didn't want to open the girls' ones on camera because I don't think it's fair to them. But oh my goodness, these photos are horrendous. They are definitely not the most flattering pictures, I tell you. I mean, photos, they are awful. But yes, the whole thing is the BRPs have arrived, our visas have been extended, and that's the most important thing, even if the photos are terrible. I hope that this video has been helpful. I know it's quite a long video, and I know that I have split it into to-do sections so that it's just easier, and that is kind of how we went through the whole thing, was in that order. So I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it, and like I say, I do apologize, you know, things, the differences between my hair in the beginning of the video and my hair now, and it's just so much has happened, and I'm definitely going to be doing a video in the future all about our story with regards to our move. But yes, it's all done, and everything, you know, our visa got renewed, and our BRPs arrived in the post, and everything is just good. And I'm very grateful that we get to live here for another 2.5 years. And as always, I cannot recommend Robin from RCV any higher than I do. She is great, and I am just so grateful to the Lord for giving us, you know, for answering our prayers with regards to the visas. So yes, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope you liked the video, and if you know anyone who's about to renew their second visa, please go ahead and share. You know, sometimes it's helpful to, you know, watch videos like this if you're going through the process yourself. And I just really and truly want to say thank you again for watching the video, and I hope that you have a great day further. Bye.